The Amazon rainforest hides secrets older than recorded history, but among all its legends, none is as haunting as the story of a man who walked into the green void of Broken Bar and never returned. This is the true tale of the lost city of ZA and the disappearance of the explorer who dedicated his life to proving its existence. Imagine a world untouched by modern civilization. A world where sunlight barely reaches the ground, where entire tribes live uncontacted, and where ancient ruins sleep beneath layers of vines and soil. Now imagine choosing to walk into that world willingly, knowing you may never walk out again. That was the obsession of a single man, Colonel Percy Harrison Fawcett. Fawcett wasn't an ordinary adventurer. He was a decorated British soldier, a skilled surveyor, and one of the last great explorers of the early 20th century. But what truly defined him was his unshakable belief that somewhere deep inside the Amazon basin, an advanced ancient civilization once thrived, a city he called Z. For most people, Z was nothing more than a fantasy. But for Fawcett, Z was destiny. The story begins in 1906, when Fawcett was sent by the Royal Geographical Society to map the thick jungles between Brazil and Bolivia. At a time when large portions of the world were already documented, the Amazon still remained a massive blank spot on the map. And Fawcett was determined to fill it in. During these early expeditions, he encountered deadly wildlife, nearly drowned in raging rivers, and survived diseases that killed countless explorers before him. But what fascinated him most wasn't the danger, it was the strange clues scattered across the forest. He found pottery that didn't match known indigenous styles. He saw carvings in stone that looked too sophisticated for small Amazon tribes. And most mysteriously of all, at Broken Bar he discovered an old Portuguese document from the year 1753. It described a journey into the interior of Brazil where explorers found the ruins of a massive stone city with roads, arches, and sculptures unlike anything found in the region. That single document lit a fire inside Fawcett. If those ruins existed, then the Amazon was hiding more than just tribes and trees. It was hiding history itself. By the 1920s, Fawcett had already become a legend among adventurers. But he wanted more than fame. He wanted proof. Proof that ancient Amazonian civilizations were far more advanced than scholars believed. Proof that the Amazon wasn't just wilderness but a cradle of forgotten knowledge. So, in 1925, at the age of 57, Fawcett set out on the expedition that would define his legacy. This time, he brought only two companions, his eldest son Jack, and Jack's best friend Raleigh Rimmel. No entourage. No large support team. Just three men chasing the myth. It was the last time anyone ever saw them. Their journey took them to Mato Grosso, a region so remote that even today large parts remain unexplored. Locals warned Fawcett to turn back. They told stories of hostile tribes, cursed lands, and spirits that guarded forbidden places. But Fawcett had made up his mind. Z was real. It had to be. He sent letters home during the early part of the expedition. In one of his final messages, he said they had reached a place he called Dead Horse Camp. Here, he left behind most of his supplies to travel lighter. It was his final recorded location. After that, a Broken Bar silence. Weeks turned into months. Months into years. Rescue missions were launched one after another. Some explorers returned with stories of tribes who claimed to have seen a foreigner resembling Fawcett. Others said the trio was killed by warriors defending their land. A few claimed Fawcett chose to stay in the jungle and live among the people of Z. But none of the stories were ever confirmed. The world was captivated. Newspapers speculated about cannibals, lost civilizations, and treasure. Adventurers risked their lives retracing Fawcett's path. More than 100 people died trying to find him. And each failed attempt only deepened the mystery. So what exactly was Fawcett searching for? Was the lost city of Z truly real? For decades, scholars dismissed Fawcett as delusional, claiming no advanced civilization could exist in the Amazon because the soil was too poor to support large populations. But in the early 2000s, something extraordinary happened. Archaeologists began discovering massive geometric earthworks hidden beneath the forest canopy. Using LiDAR scanning, a technology that reveals structures under vegetation, researchers uncovered enormous settlements, road networks, water systems, and sophisticated urban layouts stretching for miles. Some of these settlements were centuries old. Others were thousands. Suddenly, Fawcett didn't look like a dreamer anymore. He looked like a pioneer. Even more remarkable, many of these newly discovered sites are located near the region where Fawcett vanished. So the question is no longer, was Fawcett wrong? Now the question has become, how much was he right? To this day, no trace of the Fawcett expedition has ever been found. No bones. No equipment. No confirmed burial spot. Nothing. Some experts argue he was killed shortly after leaving Dead Horse Camp. Others believe he made contact with an uncontacted tribe and lived out the rest of his life among Thama protected in exchange for sharing his knowledge. A few believe he reached the outskirts of an ancient city and chose never to return. And then there's the most chilling theory of all, that he found Zabroken Bar and that Z didn't want outsiders knowing it existed. The deeper mystery is not that Fawcett disappeared, the people vanished in the Amazon all the time. The real mystery is the silence. No rumors. No artifacts. No eyewitnesses willing to speak openly. It's as if the jungle itself swallowed the expedition whole. Today, the legend of the lost city of Z continues to fuel explorers, archaeologists, and historians. Every new discovery in the Amazon pushes us closer to understanding the truth behind Fawcett's obsession. Were ancient Amazonians more advanced than we believe? Did complex societies rise and fall long before Europeans ever arrived? Could the ruins described in the 1753 manuscript still be out there, buried under centuries of growth? And if they area Broken Bar, did Percy Fawcett stand among them? Perhaps the Amazon still remembers him. Perhaps deep within the Green Labyrinth, the final chapter of his life remains hidden, waiting for the day someone uncovers the city he spent his life searching for.